Welcome back. Today I have Dr. Kayvon Esmaili, hopefully I did that right, and he's with Hoag. It's actually the Fudge Family Acute Rehabilitation Center at Hoag Hospital. And as we were talking about beforehand, this is now a new floor within Hoag Hospital Newport, right?
Exactly. This unit was opened June 18, 2018.
Okay.
And we started seeing patients. Rehabilitation facilities, or inpatient rehabilitation facilities, or acute rehabilitation units also known. There are units within a hospital or freestanding facilities where they're designed to provide care to the patients who, for different medical conditions or trauma, they have had significant decline in their ability to be able to perform activities of daily living.
Okay.
Meaning these patients are no longer able to provide care for themselves, or they need significant medical management prior to going home and being able to live independently.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. So then, what would be the approximate stay that somebody would be in the rehabilitation center?
The average length of stay for a rehab unit varies depending on the medical condition, anywhere from 8 to 9 days to 4 to 6 weeks. The patients who are significantly injured or they have significant medical needs, they will stay longer.
Okay.
For example, a patient with traumatic brain injury or spinal cord injury will stay there a little longer. Patient with a simple hip fracture will stay there about 7 to 10 days in a rehab unit.
Well, why do you think that that Hoag went ahead and did this on the third floor rather than sending them out?
It was a tradition for Hoag patients to leave the hospital after they had received their medical care at the hospital. These patients will come in, they would get excellent health care, they would do better. However, they still needed help. They weren't able to go home independently and live independently, or the care they needed at home was significant that family wasn't able to provide that support.
Right.
And these patients would have to go to other hospitals in the community or far away from their home. And they felt this need was there and had been there for a long time. Finally, Hoag was able to provide that support and that care in the unit.
Okay, and tell me what is so special about your facility, versus going outside?
Well, our rehab unit is located within the hospital itself. It's on the 3rd floor of the Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. So we are accessible by all the physicians who work at Hoag. That means if the patient gets seen at Hoag Hospital, they get transitioned to the rehabilitation unit. Their primary medical team will be able to follow them, will be able to provide the continuity of care.
Got it.
The patients live in the community. Their family can come in and visit them. They don't have to stay at other facilities. They don't have to drive too far to get and provide that emotional support the patients need.
That's great. The importance of the rehabilitation center, as you mentioned, being in the same facility and under kind of one doctor's care, why is that important to the family of that individual?
It is a trust you develop with your medical care. You do need to trust and be able to communicate with your healthcare providers. You do need to be able to spend time with your physician and be able to ask questions. And your physician needs to be able to sit down and answer questions and be able to show that x-ray that you need to see, or images, or open up the computer or the chart and show you the laboratory results. So they can follow that path from the moment the patient was admitted to the acute side. Whether the patient had a stroke or had a heart attack or other medical condition, you can show the transition and be able to kind of assure the family the care they're receiving and the progression that the patient has made.
All right, excellent. And you're the medical director there. How long have you been in this work?
I have been a medical director at other facilities, and I've been a physical medicine rehabilitation specialist with brain injury subspecialty for the past 17, 18 years now. Okay,
and what are some wonderful stories? Like, give me a quick story about someone that did go to your rehabilitation center and something that they said.
They're all very pleased to be there. We had a young man that was in a motor vehicle crash several months ago. He was seen at outside hospital, had gone to a long-term acute care facility because he wasn't able to move or do anything. And he came to our rehabilitation unit 3 months after his accident, wasn't able to talk, wasn't able to communicate. And within 6 weeks, being in our rehab unit, he was able to walk out of the rehab department using minimal assistance, although he still had some cognitive decline and cognitive impairment. But he was able to go back in the community and interact with his family. He was able to go and sit down at a table with his parents and have a meal with them. So that was the joy of seeing this patient coming in completely dependent and being able to go home needing limited amount of care. We do this all the time. We have patients of all ages. We don't see any pediatric patients, but we do see teenagers, and we see all the way up to, we have even had patients in their 90s.
Wow.
So, yes.
So all
they do
ages?
well. All ages.
All right,
yes.
that's great.
As long as the patient has had some significant functional decline because of a medical condition, we're able to help them.
Well, good success story. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And remember, if you want more information about what we just discussed, you can go to hoag.org/acute-rehab. We'll be right back.